December 14th, tens of thousands of people gathered in one of the largest squares in Rome. Their banner, the sardine. A movement born a few weeks earlier after the call to demonstrate against the League, the far-right party of Matteo Salvini, by a group of youth from the city of Bologna, capital of Emilia-Romagna. Mattia Santori, an economist and sports coach, is the movement's most emblematic figure.
We have seen decades of obscurantism, fear and anger. We'd like to open in 2020 a new decade of light, of joy and a desire to be together. A decade of construction, solidarity with a stronger social fabric.
The Rome demonstration followed dozens of other rallies across the country. In only a month, more than 300,000 people took to the streets. A fish revolution, as the founders of the movement called it, of which the outcome is yet uncertain.
We say tight like sardines, so maybe they were inspired by that, this sardine movement. Because it's a large group that moves together and that does things together. Then we'll see how it develops. What will happen if there's a change in government? What will the sardines do next?
For the sardines, the first priority is to occupy the public space. A political gesture, but without a partisan label, they say.
Politicians, in my opinion, no longer go onto the streets to meet people, so we make sure that the street goes to the politicians.
Brains are reactivated. Democracy is awakening again. We know we're not alone and that this is only the beginning.
That day, Italians had come from all over the country to defend values they say are in danger.
We come from Urbino in central Italy, the homeland of Raphael, the Italian Renaissance. And we hope that this movement of sardines brings a renaissance of consciousness.
We're here to demonstrate against a sovereignist, populist and racist drift, against the will to hate. This is not the world we want to leave to our children.
You can't do politics by saying Italians first or everybody out, with all this hatred that's truly transformed a whole population. We used to say Italians are good people. We got the impression that these people had disappeared. In fact, they haven't. They're there. We're here. The good people. It's us.
Hatred is something that hit hard Kenyan-born Stephen Ogongo, the coordinator of the sardine movement in Rome. A journalist, he also runs a human rights organization fighting racism and discrimination. His latest campaign led Facebook to remove racist content from the pages of Matteo Salvini's League Party supporters. A move which led to retaliation against Ogongo on the party's social networks.
This is just one of the messages. There really are a lot.
The mobilization of the sardine movement is vital, he says, for the country's future.
The most important thing is to awaken people's consciousness, to make them realize that there's something very serious going on in the country. This artificial hatred that someone is creating, the danger of populism, the danger of the return of fascism. The movement also draws attention to the fact that human beings, respect for people and human dignity must be at the center of politics again.
A creed that still has to materialize. The question is how. The sardine movement leaders are cautious in their answers. Where are the sardines heading for?
This is the most difficult question. Until now, we've been trying to measure how much energy there was in Italy. Now that we know, we need to figure out how to funnel this energy.
The spontaneous citizen movement is not meant to become a political party, say its founders. United against intolerance, xenophobia, homophobia, incivility, the sardines are above all a state of mind.
The sardines don't exist. Politics is participation. The sardines don't exist because to think that sardines, that Mattia Santori, that a movement like this can solve problems would be absolutely populist. People have to understand that they make politics from the grassroots, in their own lives, and that there's no need for a demonstration of sardines.
The day after the demonstration, some 150 sardine regional delegates gathered together in a community centre in the capital. On the agenda, finding ways to counter Matteo Salvini's League Party campaign ahead of the regional elections scheduled for late January in Emilia-Romagna, one of the most important regions of Italy and a traditional left-wing stronghold. The vote is deemed crucial for the political future of the country.
The main aim of this meeting was to go back to the squares as soon as possible and to mobilise parts of the country which have not yet been involved with the sardines. We didn't do anything special. We just worked with people who want to bring an alternative message to populism and sovereignism in the country in a spontaneous and free way.
The sardines' message echoes beyond Italy among those concerned with the wave of populism that rose across Europe. Like this group of Spanish sardines we came across at the end of the Rome rally.
Sardina va, sardina va, bi sardina, topa tu siren, iskin batean.
This is a Basque song about sardines, which we sing to children. We hope it'll become a song for the whole world, the sardine anthem, like a slogan.
We came here because we're tired of vulgar, contemptuous politics, which only speaks out of demagogy and doesn't really solve any problems. This is what's happening in Italy, and unfortunately it's also starting to happen in Spain. And our wish is that the Italian sardines swim out to other parts of Europe and reach all of Europe, and even the whole world.
Nadando, que es lo mejor. Qué bonito.